students, welcome to the exam rat. So today we are going to start our chapter number 4 from unit number 2 algebra, and the chapter number 4 is quadratic equations. Okay, so before starting with this chapter, if you are new to our platform, please visit our website and you will be getting the PDF notes there, and in case of any doubt and queries you can just let us know by commenting and all. Okay, so let's just move forward and begin with our first chapter, that is chapter number 4, quadratic equations. So guys, what is this quadratic equation actually means? Okay, so in the polynomial chapter I told you about this quadratic equation. So this is the chapter for the quadratic equation. The quadratic means having 2 as the highest power of any variable. This is what we called as the quadratic equation, right? So basically when the degree of the given equation is 2, then that equation is known as the quadratic equation, and examples can be 4x square plus 5x plus 3. So you can just know that what is a quadratic equation. I hope you people know. I told you about certain types of polynomials like quadratic, linear, cubic. So quadratic is one of them. And what do you mean by quadratic? Having degree equals to 2, and when the degree is equals to 2, when any equation have 2 as the highest power of the variable. So this is what we called as in quadratic equation. Now let's move to the definition, that what is quadratic equation actually means. Right, in this chapter we will be like studying what is quadratic equation, what is the standard form of the quadratic equation. Okay, we're also going to study certain other methods which are used to solve those quadratic equations, right? So our first basically a quadratic equation standard form is ax square plus bx plus c. This is the same equation I told you in polynomials about the quadratic, that this is the standard form of quadratic equation having the highest power of the variable equals to 2, right? So a b c, they are the real numbers with a not equal to 0. A quadratic equation is also called second degree polynomial. Why it is called a second degree polynomial? Because the degree of the polynomial in this case in quadratic equation is 2. That is why it is called second degree polynomial. So there are the certain methods through which we can easily solve the quadratic equations. The first is the middle term factorization method. It is also known as the middle term splitting method. The same method I told you in class 9th sessions, also in class 10th sessions also. For the detailed explanation, please visit our website and go through the class 9th sessions, and you will be getting the detailed explanation of what is the middle term splitting and how we can just do it. So there is a new method, that is completing the square method. This is something very new. And there is another method, that is quadratic formula method. If you people remember, in polynomials I told you about this formula, that you are going to learn this formula in chapter number 4. So this is that quadratic formula only. There is a particular formula for the quadratic equation. You just have to use that formula, and hence you will get your roots, zeros, and you will be able to solve the questions, right? So this is what we known as the quadratic equations, and there are three methods to solve the quadratic equation. First is the middle term splitting known as factorization method. Second is the very new completing the square method, and third is your quadratic equation method. I hope it is clear, and I will tell you about each method in brief, in detail in our next slide. So please move forward. So without wasting time, we are moving ahead with our first method of solving the quadratic equation, that is our factorization method. Okay, and we can also call the factorization method as the middle term splitting method. This is similar to the middle term splitting, not similar, this is exactly the same as middle term splitting, and the other name for middle term splitting is the factorization. So this is very easy. You all know how to solve any equation using middle term splitting, right? This is what it is. So our first equation, let's suppose, is given as x square minus 2x minus 15. So I told you, let me give you a very brief intro about this middle term splitting, and if you people want to have the detailed explanation, please visit our class 9th lessons. You will be getting those lessons on our website only. So go there and you will be getting the detailed explanation of what this middle term splitting is. So as the name suggests, the middle term in the quadratic equation like this 2x will be splitting into the two numbers such that they will form the factors. So basically it is something like AC. There is a product of A and C, and by adding, let's just suppose the two numbers are x and y. Okay, so by multiplying them we must get the product of a and c. This is a and this is c, and by adding them we must get the b. Okay, so this is what we have to do in the middle term splitting. These are the things. If there are the two factors, then by multiplying them we should get the product of first and last digit of quadratic equation, and by adding them we should get the b digit, right? So you already know that this is the form of the quadratic equation, so you can easily differentiate the ABC between them. Okay, so for 2, what can we take so that the two numbers they can be added or subtracted to form 2, and they can be multiplied to form 15. So the number is 5 and 3. Very easy. When we subtract the 5 and 3, then we will get 2, and when we will just multiply them we will be getting 15. I am right. Okay, so this is what you have to do. You have to select those numbers which should be added or subtracted to give the b part, and they should be multiplied to get the product of a and c part. So you will be getting like this: x plus 3 and x minus 5. By putting them equals to 0, okay, we will be getting x equals to minus 3, and from here we will be getting x equals to 5. I hope this method is clear to you. You have done middle term splitting many times in class 9th. You have also done middle term splitting in class 10th in polynomials chapter. So I hope that you people know a lot about this middle term splitting. I also told you a certain brief intro about this, that what is this middle term splitting and what are the conditions for the middle term splitting. I told you the conditions. I hope you people could understand. If you are not able to understand, if you are not able to still understand that what is the middle term splitting is and how it can be done, then please let me know in the comment. Me and my team will get back to you in best possible way. So okay, so this is the middle term splitting, and you can just split any of the number, but you just have to follow these two conditions, and it can be subtract also. By adding or subtracting the two factors, we must be getting the b part, and by multiplying them we must be getting the product of a and c part. I hope it is clear to you now. So let's move ahead with our second method. This is a very new method for you people. You have not studied about this method in your earlier classes. I'll explain you this method. This method is also very similar. This method is based on identity. Okay, the identities we have read in class 9th. Yeah, after completing all the sessions for class 9th and class 10th, I'll be giving you all the formulas, identities that are very important and that you have used in your class 9th and class 10th. So you can easily, like, they are like a notes for you people, and you can easily solve the question by using those identities and those formulas. So okay, so you don't have to worry about that. So identities, I told you something about a plus b ka square. Okay, these are the very normal identities, and everyone should know what is their formula, right? These are very important, very important identities. These are not gonna leave you in any situation. These identities will be with you till the maths is there. So these are very important identities. I hope you people will pay attention, right? So there is certain steps. These are the steps which are mentioned here, and you have to do exactly same. Okay, so first of all, for example, this is the quadratic equation. So in this particular quadratic equation, first of all what you have to do is just make this a equals to 1. any, when the a is given as 2, 3, 4, whether anything it is given, you should make it 1. How will you make it 1? By dividing the equation by 4. So when you divide the equation by 4, you will be getting x square plus 2x plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, always make it 1. Always make the coefficient of x square 1 for the completing the square method. So here x square plus bx equals to c. So if a is not equal to 1, divide the quadratic by a. So here it is 1. Okay, just make it 1. Okay, so now you have made it 1. So now what you have to do is, since it is like 2x, okay, what you can do is, for 2x you can just like this you can do. For making the identity, you have to, by completing the square, what do you mean by completing the square? You have to form the square of any identity and then you will solve the question. So what you will do is, for according to the equation, this is just the example, this is not the true example, this is just the example given by me. Okay, I don't know it will be solved or not, but this is just the example for you people, that you have to divide it to make the coefficient of x square equals to 1. Then you have to make a identity. You can witness that there is x square, there is 2x. So identity was a square plus b square plus 2ab. There is no b square present here. And to get the 2x, the a must be 1 and b must be also 1. So we will be taking 1 square, and also by adding and subtracting 1 square and 1 square. Okay, so what we are getting is, this is what we are getting. Okay, so we will get like x square plus 2x plus 1 square equals to, c is there, I'm sorry, this is like this is just the this is just the a type of a, I don't it means like this is not the true example, this is just the example I'm trying to give you people, so that you people could know that what you have to do here. X b is written, so it is little bit confusing for you people. That is why I'm taking example from myself, so that you people could understand by using these. Okay, so this is the whole thing, and you will be getting like this. So this makes the x plus 1 whole square equals to 4, or you can say 2 square. So by easily you can find out that x plus 1 equals to 2, or x equals to 1. This is the whole scenario for the completing the square method. This is what we call the completing the square method. In this method you just have to add, this is the bx, whatever you will get as the bx, just add half of it as the square and subtract the half of it of the square. So just add and subtract b by 2 whole square and subtract b by 2 whole square, and you will be getting like this, and this will be formed identity a plus b ka whole square, and this will form certain. Okay, so after solving this you will be easily getting this value, and after getting this value you will be getting the value of the x. This is what we called as the completing the square method. I hope it is clear to you. So the steps are, first of all you just have to make sure that the coefficient of x square must be equals to 1. After that what you have to do is, you just have to add and subtract the square of the half of bx. Okay, then you just have to make the identity a plus b ka whole square on the left hand side, and then you can easily get the value of x. You will be better understood this concept by using the example, and as always I've mentioned the examples in the end of the slides. Okay, so just look at the last method, that is the quadratic formula method. This method is the easiest method I ever know. For many people this is not the easiest method, but this is the easiest method. It has a long formula, that is why people think that it is not easy, but whenever you will be able to learn that formula, after that the middle term splitting becomes difficult, but the quadratic formula becomes very easy. And in spite of middle term splitting, you will be using the quadratic formula once you will be able to learn that particular formula. So the formula is, this is the standard equation. According to this, x will be equals to minus b plus or minus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is the whole formula for the quadratic equation, and this is what we called as the quadratic formula. I hope this is clear. This is the normal formula and just have to cram this formula, and once you have done with this formula, you just have to put the value of b, which is the coefficient of x, c, which is constant, and a, which is the coefficient of x square. Now here you can see that b square minus 4ac under root is certain thing. So this is what we called as a discriminant. There is a word used for this, that is discriminant. B square minus 4ac is also called as capital D, which is a discriminant, and this formula can be written as x equals to minus b plus minus root d by 2a. This is the short form for this formula, and d is equals to b square minus 4ac. I hope it is clear now. Okay, so these are the nature of the roots. So basically when we are getting like b square minus 4ac is equals to 0, suppose, then the roots are real, equal, and rational. Basically both the roots you will be getting will be equal. If you are getting discriminant equals to 0, then both the roots will be equal, right? If you are getting b square minus 4ac greater than 0 and also a perfect square, it means that it is greater than 0, and also like it is, for example, it is root 25, so it is a perfect square of 5, we can write here 5. So in that situation it means that roots are real, roots are distinct, it means you will be getting two different types of roots and they are rational too. But if they are not the perfect square, then they are real, they are distinct, but they are irrational. I hope it is clear. But if anyhow you will get the value of d as negative, in that case the roots are not real, they will be imaginary. Okay, so you people will be asking what is imaginary and what is real. So imaginary and real you will not be going to study in this class. Okay, you will be going to study about this real and imaginary in 11th standard. So just make sure then whenever the d is negative, you don't perform the quadratic formula ahead. It means that you just have to write that roots are imaginary. In that case, don't solve that problem because it can't be solved. Just write that roots are imaginary. What is imaginary, what is real, that's not for you people. Okay, that is basically depending completely on the complex numbers, that is a class 11th topic. So let's just don't make very confusing for you people. So just make sure that when the d equals to 0, when the roots are real, equal, and rational, when they are greater than 0 and a perfect square, then they are also real, distinct, and rational. But when they are not a perfect square, then they are real, distinct, but they are not, but they are irrational. But when they are negative, then they are always imaginary. Just make sure they are always imaginary. So this is the quadratic formula, and this is what we called as discriminant, and these are the root nature of the roots depending upon the discriminant's value, right? Let's move ahead with the certain questions I have prepared for you people. So our first question is whether the given equation is quadratic or not. So how will you find out that whether the equation is quadratic? For any equation to be quadratic, the highest power of x must be equal to 2. In any equation, if you get the power of x equals to 2, the highest power equals to 2, then only the equation will be quadratic. So let's just solve them. There is an equation given here, the equation given here is x plus 1 whole square, x plus 1 whole square equals to 2x minus 3. Don't waste time, just solve them out in your notebooks. These are very easy equations and you can easily solve them in your notebooks. Just don't always look like you don't have to solve, you just have to look at the solution. Just solve them on your own, so you people will be, practice make the man's perfect. So for perfect mathematic results, you always have to solve the problems of mathematics. Mathematics is something that you can't do with cramming or something. Always have to apply the formulas, always have to think before you have to solve the problems. So this is the whole, so equation you will be getting is x square minus 5x 4x plus 6 and yes, it is also a quadratic because the x square is the highest one. Okay, so this one, let's look at this one. X minus 2 multiplied by x plus 1 equals to x minus 1 multiplied by x plus 3. So we will be getting we will be getting x square minus 2x plus x minus 2 equals to x square minus x plus 3x minus 3, right? So we'll be getting x square minus x minus 2 equals to x square plus 2x minus 3. So you can cancel out this one and you will be getting 3x equals to 1. So in this case, the largest value or the power of x is 1. So this is not quadratic. I hope it is clear to you. This is a very basic exercise that the given equation is quadratic or not, and I hope you can easily found that whether the equation is quadratic or not. So move ahead with the factorization, middle term splitting. You have done with a lot of middle term splitting in 9th and 10th too. So I hope you can solve these questions on your own. Let me just solve one for you people, or two. So for 3 we can take 5 and 2. Try to solve. Basically middle term splitting is the easy method, but you can't you can't understand the middle term splitting only by doing one or two question. If you are doing more than, if you are doing practice always, then you will be able to know that which factor will be come here immediately. You don't have to understand, you don't have to think for a long time that whether what will be the number, which will be the factor. Just you will be able to do the question in few minutes. So the practice you need a lot of practice for doing the middle term splitting. Like this is 6 into 2, 12. Okay, so for 12 we can, what we can take for the for we are getting 1 as the additive or subtractive is 4 and 3. So I am just taking the factors in few minutes. You can also do that within minutes. What you have to do is just practice them out. X will be equals to 3 by 2. Maths is very easy, people, very easy. I hope this is clear to you and you can solve this last one on your own. Okay, this is also easy. Just don't afraid of these roots, and all these roots are also easy. Multiplied both of them terms, we will be getting 5 root 2 into root 2. So root 2 and root 2 will be 2, so it will be getting 10, and for getting 10 and 7 as the additive or subtractive, you can take 5 and 2. So just put 5 in 2 here and you will be getting the common one, and you will be getting your answer very easily. Okay, so our next is the completing the square method. Okay, so basically the completing the square method. So please have a look here. The question given is x square minus 7x plus 3 equals to 0. This is the required equation, right? What you have to do is, first of all, what they are doing is 2x square minus 7 by 2x plus 3 by 2, right? So they can just the 7 is something that basically the 7 is something which can't be, as I told you, that whatever will be the value or the coefficient of the x, that should be made as 2ab. But 7 is something which is not at all the multiple of 2ab. Okay, you can't say that whenever you multiply anything with 2 and you will be getting 7 as the answer, because 7 is the odd number. So what we'll do is we'll just multiply the whole equation and divide the whole equation. So like this we can do this. When we'll divide, we will be getting this, and the equation after this will be transferred there, and we will be getting this equation, right? So okay, now you can just do it. X square minus 7 by 2x, what I told you, just add and subtract the half of this, the square of the half of this. So we are doing similar thing, right? Now it is basically the x square minus 7 by 2 square. Okay, so I'm sorry, this is 7 by 2x. This is 7 by 2x, right? This is 7 by 2x. So what we'll be getting is x minus 7 by 4 ka whole square, and here I are getting is minus 49 by 16 plus 3 by 2. So after taking the LCM, we will be getting like 49, okay, and we'll be getting what we'll be getting is 24. So we'll be getting minus 25 by 16. So here x minus 7 by 4 ka whole square minus 25 by 16. So we'll just shift it there. So x minus 7 by 4 whole square equals to 5 by 4 whole square, and we can just write it as x minus 7 by 4 equals to 5 by 4, or x equals to 5 by 4 plus 7 by 4, and we'll be getting 12 by 4 as the answer, or 3. So x will be equals to 3 in that particular case. I hope this is clear to you people, that how we are getting the roots by completing the square method, right? So this is what we called as the completing the square method. You can just have a look here. Let's move ahead with our main and very important one, that is your quadratic formula, right? So what is a quadratic formula? The formula for quadratic formula is x equals to minus b, oh I'm sorry, x equals to minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This is the whole formula for the quadratic formula. Very easy one. You will be easily able to remember this formula. So here the equation is x minus 1 by x equals to 3. Now what you will do is you just have to first make a quadratic equation to use the quadratic formula. So we'll just take the LCM. X square minus 1 equals to 3, and we'll be getting x square minus 3x minus 1 equals to 0 as the equation, right? Now apply the quadratic formula. A is equals to 1, b is equals to minus 3, and c equals to minus 1. So x equals to minus b, that is minus of minus b, plus minus root over b square will be 3 square 9 minus 4 into a into c, right, divided by 2 into a. I'm just writing descriptively so that you people could understand what I am writing. 9 plus minus root 13 divided by 2. So the two roots for this particular equation is 3 plus root 13 by 2, and another is 3 minus root 13 by 2. I hope this is clear. This is very easy formula. Just know that a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, also take the signs along with them, and c is the constant itself. This is about the quadratic formula. Okay, and now the main thing that people you have to learn is the word problems, right? So word problems are like people are not able to make the equations, like equations are already given in the questions, but the equations are not given in the word problems. So you have to make the equations in the word problem. So basically in this particular question it is given that there is a smaller square and there is a larger square. So let this side of the smaller square be x, and let this side of the larger square be y, right? Now the parameter for the smaller one s is 4x, and the parameter for the larger square is 4y. Now the area of the smaller square is x square, and area of the larger one is y square. Now according to the question it is given that the difference between their parameters is equals to 24. So equation will be like this. Now what you have to do is just solve this equation. We can take 4 common, and y minus x equals to 24, and it will be like dividing the 4 by 24 will be getting 6. So our equation is x plus 6 equals to y. This is our equation. Now the next equation is the sum of the squares of area. Okay, squares of area, this is the squares of the area, and their sum is 468, right? Now what we can do is just put the value of y from the above equation in the given equation. So just apply the identities. You will be getting x square plus 36 plus 12x equals to 468. Now subtracting this, you will be getting 2x square plus 36, sorry, it will be 12x, and there you will write just subtracting them, and you will be getting 432, right? You will be getting 432. So now what you have to do is just take 2 common from both the ends. X square plus 6x minus 216 will be your final equation. Now you can solve it by either method to find out the value. Okay, you can just apply the quadratic formula like minus b plus minus root over b square minus 4 into minus 216 divided by 2, right? So basically 4 multiplied by 216, what we'll be getting after multiplying them is 864, right? So 36 plus 864 is 900. So we are getting minus 6 plus minus root over 900 divided by 2. This is the perfect square. So something like this will be getting. If we put negative here, then we will get the sides negative, which is not at all possible. The sides are always measured positively, so we will take the positive sign. So 30 minus 6 divided by 2, and we will be getting 24 by 2, yani ki 12 centimeters or units you can write whenever centimeters or meters is not given. So 12 units will be your side of the smaller square, and for the larger square the side will be 18 units. I hope this whole numerical is clear to you, that how we can just solve out the word problems, right? Now let's move ahead with our next word problem. So our next word problem is basically the speed of the passenger. We have to find out the speed of the passenger where time is distance is given. Okay, so basically you know that passenger train is little bit slow, so they have given that average speed of passenger, we have taken the average speed of passenger equals to x, and they have given in question that average speed of express is 11 kilometer per hour more than the passenger. So how will you find out the express train's average speed is 11 kilometer more than the passenger train? Now the time, now you know the formula, speed equals to distance by time. So distance will be time will be equals to distance upon speed. Just apply this, that time for the passenger train, time taken by the passenger train is 132 is the given distance by x, and time taken by, just right over here, okay, by express train is 132 divided by x plus 11 hour. I hope this is clear to you. Now this is given that difference between their time is 1 hour. So 132 by x minus 132 by x plus 11 equals to 1, right? So we'll just take the LCM and we will solve the question like this: 132 by x plus 11 minus 132 x equals to 1. Okay, so we can just cancel it out, and 132 by 11 will be 1452, so it will be like 1452 divided by x square plus 11x equals to 1. So we'll be getting x square plus 11x minus 1452 equals to 0. This is our standard quadratic form. Now we will just solve this out. How we'll solve it out? By quadratic equation method. That is the easiest method I know. So minus 11 plus minus root over 121 minus 4 into minus 1452 divided by 2. So we will be getting 5808 here, okay, and we will be getting 121. So 5929 will be the whole, this is the whole we are getting here, divided by 2. So first you have to make sure that whether the 5929 is a perfect square or not. You can find out like this. You can just okay, now you can just find out like this, like 7 7 49. So it will be like 10 and 1024, and here you can just add them. For this I think 1499, Okay, this is not. So I think it is not okay. This is 1024. So 148 multiplied by 148. If we are done, if we are doing this, then what we'll get is 2 and 6 30, 8 4 is 32 and 6 is 38. Okay, this is not also possible. So I think that this is not a perfect square, but this is okay. This is 9. I'm sorry, this is 9. Okay, so 1029, where when we'll be getting 9 is like 147 into 7 is 7 sevens are 49, 7 fours are 28, and 4 32. Okay, yes, so we are getting this. So this is like this. So this is the perfect square for 77. So we can put it here like minus 11 plus minus 77 divided by 2. We have to take this positive because speeds can't be negative. So 77 minus 11 by 2. So the answer is 66 by 2, that is 33 kilometer per hour for the passenger train, and it will be 44 kilometer per hour for the uh, express train. I hope this is clear to you. Okay, that how have we solved this question. So here are something more important. These are the age related questions. These are also very important. Okay, people are not able to understand how to make the equations in the age related questions, so I am here to make you understand. Sum of the age of father and his son is 45. Okay, so let the present age of father be, let's just suppose that today his father is x years old and their sum is x plus son's age will be 45. The sum is 45 years. So we can easily know that son's present age is 45 minus x. Am I right? Now 5 years ago. Okay, so in these types of question we'll just write 5 years ago. So let's just suppose my age is 22. So 5 years ago my age will be like 17. So similarly the age of the father 5 years ago will be like x minus 5, and the age of the son will be like 45 minus x minus 5, that means 40 minus x. Am I right? Now determine their present ages. 5 years ago their product was 24. It means x minus 5 multiplied by 40 minus x will be equals to 124. Right. So this is what they say. Now you just have to solve this equation like 40x minus 200, okay, minus x square plus 5x my equals to 124. So you will be getting x square minus 45x and plus 324 as the equation. This is the equation we are getting. Okay, and we can just solve it down. They have solved it like this, and we can just solve it down by using quadratic equation method, like 45 plus minus b square. What is the b square is 45 into 45. So we'll be getting 2025. Okay, so 2025 minus 4 into a into c, it means 324 into 4, 1296. So after subtracting 2025 from 1296 we will be getting 729. Okay, so like this we can just solve it out. Okay, we can just solve it out by using any of the given method. Whatever you will feel is good for you, you can just use that method. So we will be getting like 729. Okay, this is the whole after getting this and divided by 2, so it will be like 45 plus minus root over 729 divided by 2. So is 729 the perfect square? Yes, Okay, so yes, it is a square of 27. So we can just write 45 plus minus 27 divided by 2. So after adding them, we will be getting 72 by 2 or 36 years. Okay, and after subtracting them, what we will get is 8, 189. It means 9 years. So these are the two ages of the father we are getting. Okay, so this is the x. So this is what we get as the x. So father's age is 36 years old and the son's age is 9 years old. Okay, and okay, this is the whole, I think, the present ages we have to determine by determining the x. So I hope this is clear to you people. And in this particular chapter quadratic equation, what we have learnt about is, first of all, we have learnt about is the very important is the quadratic equation and the standard form. Very important, what is a quadratic equation and what are the standard forms of quadratic equation, right? The second thing we have learned about this particular thing is your methods, that is factorization method. You have to, basically you will be getting these PDF notes, so whenever you will just read these PDF notes or you will be getting these PDF notes, you can just have a look on this last slides and you can just know that what are the topics you have to prepare for your exams, what are the topics that are present in this chapter. That is why I make a short quick recap or the summary kind of in the end of the every chapter I try to make. Okay, so these are very important. I hope it will help you in the best possible way. I hope you can make the best use of these notes that I'm trying to explain you. Okay, so these are the particular things. Okay, so also the last is the word problems. Just pay attention to the word problems, nature of the roots, discriminant. These are the important terms that you have studied in this class only, and you will be studied in other classes also. So I hope that you people know that what is a quadratic equation, and hope that you are able to understand what is a quadratic equation. So thank you, that's it for now. I hope you people really enjoyed and understand the concepts, and thank you for watching. Have a lovely day.